open your eyes to the lies, be wise. Yes, you should try, use your third eye. Don't wonder why you are the prize. It was destined. This your profession, your resurrection. DNA spark, get out the dark and learn these lessons. It was written cause the truth is bitten. Ex Zachariah sitting, who claim your birthright, the truth's missing. So who dissing? Go read the Bible with you, Christian. Born a Baptist, moved on to higher practice. I knew, listen, elevation always in a cage of always. I know my real history is you could guess we all paid. I'm thinking they come in the night we fight, more like tonight. Some call me a know-it-all, but most of the time I'll be right. They all can shine cause I'm focused. Rise, rhyme for the hopeless ties. I never paid today. The spell is broken, hoping the weed choking me, broken. The doors open, me loking, hazing the black potent. King, just remember, let them see you sweat. You were the threat, you got a purpose on the surface. Don't let them tell you worthless. You dealt the hard hand. You ride for a cause, die for a cause. You're breaking the laws, the stars. Never let them see you sweat. You were the threat, you got a purpose on the surface. Don't let them tell you you're worthless. You dealt the hard hand. You ride for a cause, die for a cause. You're breaking the laws, the stars playing.
Follow the protocol, knowledge to know it all. Codes and laws, the road I saw, it had me lost. Moving the quarter, society got us caught up competing with ballers. And they writing executive orders, surveillance, they watching the corners, paying informers. Now you crossing borders, that's not what the elders told us. Brought into a world where it happens for a reason. Heavy breathing, culture versus legion. God's first demons, the ways they believe in. I don't agree with hating me and slaves were in the hands of priests or archdeacons. It's not God's preachers, no freedom. We were born to set goals, they make it hard to reach them. Risking nights just to live the life. It isn't right, you either fight the power or a prison fight. I vision Christ sacrifice cause he loved. Read the description in the book and see he was one of us.
Never let them see you sweat. You were the threat, you got a purpose on the surface. Don't let them tell you you're worthless. You dealt the hard hand. You ride for a cause, die for a cause. You're breaking the laws, the stars. Never let them see you sweat. You were the threat, you got a purpose on the surface. Don't let them tell you you're worthless. You dealt the hard hand. You ride for a cause, die for a cause. You're breaking the laws, the stars playing. Plot, plan, strategize, elevation, concentration. Let's get it, they hating. I make them think strong. What is the truth? Don't think long. He in a pink thong, you taking too long. We taught to think wrong. Thug mental, judgmental, law temple, not racist but racial. Black rise is what I'm into. Nothing's accidental, no surprise. What's on the menu? Only time I feel free is on these instrumentals. Back to business. You should quit if you wish and stop if you praying. If not for the rise of God, but the downfall of Satan. Patience. Don't let them fool you. Put that bug in your noodle. The noose on your neck's invisible. King, who did this to you? Let me at him. If we rapping and scrapping, then it can happen. Just a minute in New York. Hard accents, they start clapping. War stripes, bar back when they rob captains. We all in pain while the stars laughing. Mirage tactics. I'm high. I never think you fake, you never went. Bottom line, know thyself. You the evidence. You never let them see you sweat. You were the threat. You got a purpose on this.
Peace and Black Power. Welcome to another edition of BABATV. Every time fire. Out here in the Mecca, you know, they say that the black man is the original man and he rules 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. So you know what that means as Baba being the son of a Baba, that wherever I am on the earth and our people are, I'm at home. I don't have boundaries. That's why I'm like Jack in the Box. I might pop up anywhere that our people will have me and invite me, and I'm very thankful every place that I go and my people welcome me. With that being said, I'm always honored and privileged to stand in the presence of this mighty guru right here, my big brother Red Pill, whose video he saw fit to give to BABATV as one of the networks to put on him and his brother's new single that is very, I've heard a lot of feedback from a lot of other artists out there that, and a lot of our people who really in the comment section and so forth, who really love the record. I'm proud of Red Pill and Blue Pill. They are not new to this. They've been working on hip hop ever since I've known them, which has been quite a few years now, not just selling the wares in the Kings County and the health products and so forth, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they actually started out with the hip hop, brother.
No doubt. Well, it's what we call in these modern day terms just being a Renaissance man. So, you know, art is life. And any way that we can express the arts and the sciences, right? We know that that will immortalize you on this planet. We know the importance of art. Many of our people go into Kemet not only to visit because of the rich history, but they're very amused by the artwork, the level of artwork. It's in sacred geometry, all right, and it's also shown in architecture. The construction of those megalithic structures, all of that is artwork. The only way, the reason why it looks so stunning to one's eyes and beauty is in the eye of the beholder is mainly due to what? The colors that are being used, the accuracy in which the lines are being drawn, right? So they were able to, contain not just beautiful artworks, but the principles, the formula, the mathematics, all of the intelligence that went in to the erecting of these monuments and things of that nature. So that's art, you know what I mean? When you putting those 4 bars together and marrying it with the beat and then utilizing the sword is the tongue, the breath, the spirit is the breath. I mean, you're committing, acts of art. This past weekend, there was a movie that made $1 billion, and not only because of the powerful story that it contained, but it was appealing to the eyes of the people. Because when I was in that movie theater, it was poor and rich, it was white and black, short and tall, gay and straight, crooked and, backwards, you feel me? Fat and skinny. Nobody discriminated, because when they saw the trailer, they saw the powerful art, right? The music, Kendrick and SZA and all of the soundtrack, they saw the artwork, the CGI, and then the story, the word, the script, married all of that. So that video that we put, that's actually a teaser. That's not the official video, and that's not the full song. The full song has Kambada and KT the Arch Degree. Blue Pill and Red Pill, that's the road to Wakanda. We're just giving people teasers because we have a project coming on 4/4, the album, a double album by the name of Twin. And that's the name that my brother Jack knows me by when he met me in the streets. You dig what I'm saying? In the 90s. Come on, film real quick, my good brother. Yes. Me and his brother, we from the mud, you know what I mean? From the 90s.
From the 90s. When the streets was the streets.
When the streets was the streets. When what people claim that they're doing now, or they're trying to do, when doing that really meant something. Right now, to do what was done already would be called repeating it. You're basically following in the tracks. And what I saw in our era, and I'm not saying this because of the fact that we come from that era, but it was a bar that they raised that I don't think could be raised again. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. When we was coming up, it was serious out here. Like the stuff that these kids are doing now, you couldn't do back then. Like the jury, the big trunk jury that y'all walking around with. It was dangerous back then, dangerous. You come outside, you might have a fight, like, it was real serious. It was serious.
I would say because you'll have people who are passive, right? And you have people who enjoy the life that they're living now. And I would tell you to revel in that. Don't ever feel any kind of way. And don't think that we're trying to justify any kind of violence. What we're telling you is that we lived through a rites of passage. We lived through an era where the rites of passage was in the streets. It met you the minute you stepped out of your house. You wasn't getting around it. There was no internet. You couldn't hide in the boys club. You feel me? You couldn't hide online. You couldn't hide in mama's basement like people do these days. You had to face your fears and step out here, and what it did was it shaped and it molded the personalities and the characters of a lot of human beings, and it also crushed a lot of people under pressure. I'm not gonna lie, it did take a lot of good people off of this planet living through their rites of passage. But what can you tell a lion in a jungle? I mean, we're not really in the jungle theoretically. This shit is like a zoo. We're domesticated animals, you know what I mean? Like, this is a zoo environment. I live across the street from a zoo. I see the way that the zoo functions. I examine the wildlife that's in the zoo, then I hop online and I examine them in their proper nature. And I'm here to tell you that you can tell that they're domesticated and they're subdued. The same way that the house cat is domesticated. You ever seen a cat in the wild? You seen an alley cat, my G? You ever seen those wild cats that are in the Caribbean and whatnot? You know what I'm saying? Little ones, even wild dogs in the Serengeti, they don't even function like the dogs that are inside of these structures called cities. You know what I'm saying? These elaborate zoo structures, and what makes them a zoo is the system that runs it. And then there's people that are living on the outskirts of that system. They're living on the outskirts of that system. They're living in what would be known as a renegade lifestyle. That lifestyle and those people in that mind state is what I was drawn to as a rebellious youth. But the reason later on down the line I realized why I was being rebellious is because I was looking for a way out of a structure and a system that did not sit right with my young rebellious soul. You know what I'm saying? And I belonged to the posse that I was in was called Mean Guy Posse, MGP, right?
MG, Criminal Empires.
Criminal Empire was the conglomerate. FG, Flatbush Pulley Kids, FPK, SMP, CMP. Who else?
Rushy Rush.
That's Argyle and Caton and all of them. I think Casanova 2X is from around there. That's where Money and Violence, the brother who was on Rafe, that's his hood. With Mr. the real Mr. and a few of them. 30. Yeah. So, you know.
No way are we trying to glorify that lifestyle, but back then it was like a must. Like it was either you was with the hard or you was with the soft. And the soft didn't live in the world of the hard. No way.
You was at the table or you was on the plate. Yeah. It was no other way around that. And like the brother said, nobody's gonna glorify anything, but I'm going to speak. I'm a testify. You know what I mean? I'm a testament to my era and to my generation and to what it produced. You feel me? When y'all looking at Jay-Z, you're looking at all of the 90s rappers, and you're looking at many people that you quote unquote revere, that's who you're looking at, people who came out of that era, and they were the ones who wrote the soundtrack to that era.
So where do you think it went left?
I don't mean to cut your wisdom, I was just watching a documentary that they just put out called Horsepower on Complex about the lowlife. That's the era that we're talking about. You know what I mean? So they making it real attractive to have coming of age stories when you put it on the movie screen, right? Or when you put it out there, then people pay, it makes $1 billion at the box office and everybody runs to see it and it's celebrated. But people will get uncomfortable when you're just giving the source material, because make no mistake about it, they're going to make a low-life movie. That's why you see the rollout. Certain people are going to finance that coming-of-age story of the 90s with Thurston Howell and all of them about the lowlifes. So all we're saying is that's the era that we're identifying with.
Even with the low, like if you had that exclusive low, yeah, you would get on the street. They would take it off your back on the street.
Indeed. And do you remember when me and my brother used to come through with garbage bags?
We was just talking about that. Look, let me just say, the twins, yo, these guys got history in the streets. They will come on the block with at least 3-4 bags. Everything half price. The bags will be done before they leave. Before they leave, they will have nothing. But they always came with goodies for the hood. I'll give them that. They always was involved with clothing. Always cotton popping all the time.
Giving back though.
Yeah, giving back.
I could have kept everything and I wasn't starving. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I came from where I had to do these things, but we were teenagers. We were part of the culture, and the culture dictated that, you wild out. And giving to the hood on some Robin Hood. My mentality was I was liberating cotton. They was taken, because once I watched Eyes on the Prize, And my dad, who was very, you know, militant minded as a youth, you know, he gave us the rundown, and not from a victim standpoint. Peace, King. Indeed. I was like, oh nah, I'm not going with the system. I don't agree with it. So Ralph Lauren, he caught the bad end of the stick, and so did Tommy Hilfiger and George Marciano, and the owners of Macy's, Gimbals, A&S, Bloomingdale's, Lord and Taylor's. Yeah, they paid a price. And all of these malls in Jersey and up and down the 9-5, yeah, they got their wake-up call that there were groups of young melanated teenagers who was with the shits. You feel me?
The reason they started the jails
Yeah.
in the back of the stores.
I never even made it, but yeah, they definitely had to implement
There's a few stores with cells in the back. There's a few stores.
Yeah, so we were rebellious. We were raised on Public Enemy. We were raised on NWA. You know what I'm saying? We was raised on Wolverine and the X-Men. We was raised on Black Panther, the comic, before you niggas even got onto the shit. Like, this is this is our childhood that everybody be celebrating. Transformers, G.I. Joe, like this is our childhood. This is what we were in the stores boosting G.I. Joes before the polo. You know what I mean? Like Voltron, it was 200 hundos. People mama ain't had that. Voltron, the whole set. You know, so the 90s and whatnot was a beautiful time. What the reason why we're talking about it is we're reminding anybody that's out there how far you can come in life. Because now, if you look at it, Baba, put it on the shirts. I went from taking the clothes to making the clothes. Like, it's all a natural progression. You understand?
Cotton is popping.
The cotton is popping. Look at what we're doing with the knowledge. So, it's about learning from, you know, going through whatever trials and tribulations that you do go through, if you make some of the choices that we made, because please believe, as a result of the decisions that we made, we paid a price. There's nothing that you can do to take back your freedom. There's nothing that can compensate for time spent in purgatory. There's nothing that can compensate for that. When you away from your family members, when some of your day ones are dead in the streets and you can't even attend their burials, when you're missing out on life, can't get that back. So people go through what they go through, they pay the price, and what they do afterwards is a testament to if they learned their lesson or not. Did you go through the transformation? Did you go through the alchemy? This is about transmutation. This is about turning base metal into gold. So how can I become a piece of gold if I was never base metal? You know what I'm talking about? That's why people don't look at people who were born with vibranium spoons in their mouth. I was at the Apollo the other day and I saw T'Challa and Lupita. Did you? I saw them. Facts. They were right on the stage. I was on a balcony, and they had a panel discussion with Ta-Nehisi Coates and Lupita and Chadwick Boseman. Right? He said a lot of things in that speech. One of the things that he said was Killmonger was the hero of Black. It came out of his mouth. So you don't gotta listen to me. I already went in the day after seeing it. I let him know what it was. But Chadwick Boseman said Killmonger was the hero of Black Panther. How about that? And by him killing him, he became the hero for African Americans, because he said, how can I be your hero? I was born with a vibranium spoon in my mouth. I was non-relatable. He said, y'all could relate it to Killmonger because that's you. That's what Chadwick Boseman said in the Apollo on Mama. And you could go and look it up. They already put it in peace. Indeed, King. That it went viral. His speech, but they didn't let us take our phones in there. You know, I'd have been on my live stream, right? Yeah. They got this new thing where you put your sock, and they lock it, and you can't take pictures. Yeah, when I do my show, that's what you niggas gonna have to do, because I don't need all of that. Because we were very focused with no phones in the Apollo. Everybody was like this. But if you felt the energy, you can't buy that energy. You cannot fake that energy. The energy that melanin people give to you when you do good for them. When you're standing on your square for them. When you make them proud, they will give you an energy that I don't even think pharmacopoeia could match, and that's drugs for you niggas that don't got Google.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead, Red.
The energy that they were sending, the girl, the sister was glowing. I know that she already glows. She probably gets skin peels, Lupita, right? I know that she probably got glowing skin. She was shining like a goddamn diamond, like a black diamond. And T'Challa just sitting there. My dude is so swagged out right now because he already knows what it is. Yeah. He said everywhere that we go, and this is, you know, this is the disclaimer. It's a small window with our people. Get that shit while it's hot, okay? Because they will close that window on you real quick when you do some shit that they don't like, or when the shit wears off. It's like the video games when a nigga, when Mario had he took the thing and he's knocking everything. Yeah, that's when black people is giving you that melanin magic, that energy, that their approval. You know what I mean? They were sitting on that stage getting charged up.
Because you didn't the writer say that he put a lot of himself.
That's another thing.
It's a Killmonger.
So T'Challa or Chadwick Boseman said when he was on that stage that Ryan Coogler put a lot of himself in Killmonger. He was like, yo, Ryan Coogler went to Africa. Ryan Coogler went to the museum that you saw Killmonger in when he told the lady, nah, I'm gonna take that off your hands. You heard that? Well, that's the same argument that we had in Macy's. That is the same argument that we had in King's Plaza. I'm gonna take this off your hands. Oh, y'all selling polo sweaters for $1,000? Yeah, but yeah, I like that Indian head. Yeah, I like those Aztec prints.
Those are our symbols.
You feel me? I like those Navajo prints that you got selling them for $1,500 a jacket. I'm gonna take that off your hands. Oh no, sir, we don't accept that credit. I didn't say I was paying for it. Would you like credit? So the register is closing soon. Okay, well you go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and get this up out of here. So yeah, we were committing museum heists, taking iconography and returning it to our people in the hood and selling it for half price. Facts. That's all I'm saying. The Killmonger mentality. If it gets you uncomfortable, if you was in a movie theater squirming when Killmonger was talking, then you must hate my guts. You feel me? Because, you know, you don't understand what it's going to take. You don't understand the mentality it's going to take to become a have from being a have-not when you are originally the have. That's my mentality. Like, hold on. You niggas got all my people like have-nots? You have them walking around and it's not speculation. You don't even gotta wear glasses to see it. They walking around like the have-nots, and the have-nots are walking around like the half-dead, and the half-dead are walking around like the walking dead. But it's only because they don't know that they are originally the haves. You're born as a have. You got gold in your body. You dig what I'm saying? You have melanin in your skin. You have electric, your body is electrical. You have electrical charges that other people don't got. You have a relationship with the Most High. What's the Most High? The most highest shit in the sky that you can see is the sun. That's the Most High. You have a relationship
with Ra himself.
You got a relationship with the spiritual realm. You have a relationship with your soul. You have a relationship with your opposite sex that you're naturally attracted to magnetically. That builds the magnetic charge. You ever been in a room with a sister that you was feeling? Okay. That's like two magnets coming together. You know what I'm saying? That's the magic. So you already are a have. Your birthplace is the Americas, which is one of the Native American gods is called Wakanda. And Stan Lee and Jim Kirby did not make a mistake when they did that. So they're doing you two favors. They're giving you the continent, they're giving you Africa, they're showing you where you could plug in to return to your have self. But they're also marrying the continents. I just saw the article yesterday and posted it on my Facebook that they just found an artifact in, I believe it was Georgia, that's 70,000 years old. Then I told the people, don't believe me, don't take none of my word. Go to Google and put Africa underneath Florida, Africa underneath Alabama, Africa underneath Georgia. Not, the shit didn't float over like it was a refugee. It wasn't on a flotilla. You feel me? It didn't come over on a raft. It's connected. I'm talking about rock sediments. You know what I mean? Fossils.
And this is what.
Feel me? Yeah, so Africa was once connected to America. And you don't gotta take my words for it. It's archaeologically proven. Why won't your teachers teach you that? They can't ever teach you that. They got you living in separation. They got you trying to choose and pick a border, not knowing that if you chose both continents, ye are rich. You become the have overnight. So when niggas get it in their thick skulls that they're the haves and not the have-nots, because the have-nots came from a barren land, the have-nots is the Iceman inheritance. The have-nots don't got melanin. They don't have a natural relationship to the Most High. Do facts or not? Or not?
Let me give him a quote that Bush said. Bush said, when they wake up, they will chase us and lynch us. All right? So that just means that you got the power. We have the power. It's time for us to wake up, man.
You are the haves. The reason why, right? And you can tell that the have-not behavior is a savage, barbarian-like behavior. Because when you're a have-not, what do you have to do to become a have? You have to take. You have to rob. You have to murder. You have to steal. Ye who is more savage at war usually can become the victor, right? Even though war is based off of war science and other things, you could outsmart your opponent like in chess and checkers. But sometimes if you're more savage like in warfare, you could defeat somebody who is not willing to go to the lengths that you're willing to go through in warfare. When we came up against the Assyrians, when we came up against the Indo-European, when we came up against the Hyksos, when we came up against the barbarian, when we came up against the Ostrogoths, the Visigoths, the Vandals, and the quote-unquote Germanic tribes. These are the tribes that come out of what is known as Germany today. These are the Austrians. These are the ones who the Moors have defeated. Before they had the word criminal, they had the word vandal, right? Before they had the word savage, they had the word Visigoth and all of these. These were the Gothic-like peoples. They were warlike, savage-like, beast-like people who were coming out of the forests of Germany. The History Channel put out the series Rise of the Barbarians. That's where they talk about all of that. The barbarians sacked Rome and put Europe in what is known as the Dark Ages. Those are your have-nots. When they encountered the Muslims and the Berbers and the Arabs coming out of North Africa in places like Carthage, which is modern day Libya and all of that, but that was Hannibal's Carthage. And then when the Romans defeated them in the Punic Wars, they grazed it, burnt it to the ground. Carthage would never rise again. That's the reign. That begins the reign of what we're going through now, of the have-nots. Coming out of a place that was barren, and then when they came into a land that was full of everything, they had to convince those people that they were the have-nots. So who's Killmonger? Killmonger is the have-not. Killmonger had not a mama. They didn't even mention her in the movie. You saw no pictures of his mother, so he was the quote-unquote motherless child, fatherless child. He's an orphan, right? But not only was he in the foster care, he's an orphan of Africa because he was abandoned by the Wakandans. They killed his father and left him in this land as a have-not. So what did he say in the movie? He said, I went into the system, I learned the system, and I became more savage than them. So what do they have us doing in this system? They have, in this zoo, in this controlled environment, you now have become more savage than the have-not. Because he has you under the illusion that he's the have. I just showed the other day, if anybody could grab the poster with all of the inventors. Okay? And the reason why you don't see more inventors is because the European invented the patent office. But before he invented the patent office, you cannot tell me about slavery. It's not what they say it is. If it was real and if it was really true, where they got you believing it, all you niggas was eating out of a fucking, with the pigs, a slop, and all of you was, everybody was illiterate and nobody could read, this shit would not be possible. It's over 1,000 inventors. And this is the 1800s. Stop lying to our peoples. This comes from your DNA coming out of Africa, coming out of Moorish Spain where you were inventing. It's a non-stop thing when you have that gene that is known as the God particle. When you're a have, all you do is create. When you're a have-not, all you do is steal from the people that create. All you do is make the people who create feel like that they cannot create anything. Then you pay them peanuts. You be like, oh shit, what did you create? And then you put a patent on it and you put your face on it because you control media and you come out like that's you. They did not create the culture of hip hop. They did, and hip hop is the most dominant culture to have ever existed. I didn't make it up. Like I said, go and Google it, okay? And it's the most dominant culture in the world today. So, but you don't benefit a penny off of it. None of our people should be have-nots. If you have $1 trillion culture, this been proven scientifically to run the world. I did not. They had a whole college do a scientific review on all of the musical genre from jazz, rock and roll, and everything, and hip hop scientifically came out on the top. You might not think so because you think that a bunch of niggas and some, you know what I mean, niggas from the hood created it and they running with it and they're doing nothing with it. But if you ever travel around the world, then you will see the transformative powers of it, and you will see the influence, and you will see the impact of it. Meaning, once again, you would have functioning as the have-not. Can you blame white people for that? You cannot. Can you blame anybody but yourself for that? You cannot. All of that shit is personal. It all has to do with you. And when one of us realizes it, it's a million of us that will try to stop us from realizing the fact that we are not the have-nots. That's called the crab in a barrel syndrome, my niggas. Okay? That's what it's called. So you have to function knowing your self-worth. That's all you're seeing in the media. From LeVar Ball taking over for his sons. From Joe Budden saying, fuck you, Complex, I'm on my own. From Monique telling Netflix, kick rocks. I know my worth. That's your people saying, if you're not about bossing up and becoming, king of your empire, of your throne, but maybe not in the way that Killmonger tried to debo the throne, because like I said, just the other day, Chadwick Boseman was right in the Apollo. I was in the audience, and he said Killmonger was the hero of Black Panther. He said that's the big secret. But, of course, we couldn't say that because you know who would get upset with that. He said Killmonger, killing him, sort of made him the hero to Black Americans because he became relatable, because prior to that, he was a king in Africa, and, he wasn't fucking with you niggas.
Not to mention his last line.
Yeah.
Was like the key.
Yeah, and that goes to show you that Killmonger said what? That's one of the things that your enemy is afraid of. You can't kill me if I'm already dead. He told T'Challa, what you think? You're gonna save me and put me in bondage, or you're gonna save me and we're gonna be hiding in Wakanda still? We're in a zoo. We're all in bondage, my nigga. You think cause you sitting on this throne, and nigga, you not in bondage? The whole world around you is being run by an entity and a force that has put you an oppressor, that has put your ass in a zoo where you're domesticated. They were domesticated in Wakanda because they couldn't even show their strength. They had to hide. So one of the things that anybody hates to fight is a person who's not afraid of death. That's the #1 rule in warfare. You embrace it. Because you already dead. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a date anyway. So the reason why they couldn't defeat the Vietnamese, the reason why they could not defeat the Korean, the reason why they can't even, they tussling with the Arab. How long had they been in Afghanistan? They not afraid of this. They're not scared. They on their Killmonger. Are you serious?
Not afraid to die.
And these niggas are. So it's case closed. There's nothing to talk about. We should not even be talking to these people like this because they are anti. They not, you know what I mean? They not pill mongers. You know what I mean? Pillmonger is a combination of T'Challa and Killmonger. You gotta be a little bit of both. You gotta master the motherfucking middle path. They call it the middle, they got the right hand path, the left hand path. You have to learn how to master the gray zone, the middle path, right? That's the path. Being able to tap into both sides simultaneously. But you were saying something?
No, go ahead, Bill.
I'm just saying, like, you know, it is what it is. But until you could figure that one out, how you can see yourself as a have versus a have not, and then move like that, huh? And then move like that. You said something?
No, I say Patricia Lumumba wasn't afraid of
That's right. That's right. That's right. He's a legend. You know what I mean? But what I'm gonna walk away with from not just a movie, but an experience, one of many, because it's not just, you know, it's we're in a renaissance, so the shit coming non-stop, right? Don't just get hype over Black Panther. Black Panther just brought you a whole new freshman class. You niggas get to teaching. Stop preaching. You feel me? Stop preaching to the choir. Stop playing games and get to teaching and teach the students the same way that you were taught. With patience, with compassion, right? You could use passion, but with compassion and be very empathetic to their condition, because these niggas just got out of being the walking dead. They just got out of being dead. Right? God has compassion for babies and elderly. These are babies to this information. So you don't feed a baby steak. Take it from me. You know what I mean? I rewind my clock a lot to be able to teach from 2 to 200, from 8 to 80. You feel me? So keep creating, right? He also said at the Apollo that a conglomerate of melanated people of melanin, you know, they like saying people of color, POC, that's a term that they use in the media. Shoot that down. If they're gonna refer to us, POM, people of melanin, right? And Chadwick Boseman said a conglomerate of melanated people from all around the world, not Black Americans and not Black Africans only, or continental Africans. He said the Caribbean was in the building, African Americans was in the building, right? Africans from the continent was in the building. On that movie set, which was in Tyler Perry's studio, the majority of Black Panther was filmed in Atlanta. So you niggas could make it happen. And he said they came from all over the world. But one thing that they knew was that they were all there for one purpose. The project was called, make a movie called Black Panther. And he said the universal language that they spoke was hip hop. Everybody understands hip hop. It's the universal language. It is the realization of Dr. Martin Luther King's speech, or rather his dream for that matter. Don't look into the context of negative rap lyrics more so than the culture of hip hop, which I said before involves 5 pillars, not just rap. MCing, DJing, dancing, graffiti, and the knowledge or consciousness or culture for that matter. Those are the 5 pillars of hip hop. So it's not just rap, retards. That's just the one part of it. That's called MCing, or master of ceremony, moving a crowd. It's just one part of it. So many other things. It's the dancing, and I'm not a dancer, but
Giuliani killed the art.
If he killed it, it moved somewhere. Like the spirit of hip hop is over Atlanta right now. It's not over New York. It's not over the West Coast. It's hovering over the A, raining manna on them. That's where that spirit went. Like we were talking about the 90s in New York, because you brought up Giuliani. Well, when Giuliani, the Italian, came in, he changed a whole lot of things. One thing that he changed was he made that spirit move. I don't know what kind of magic this mayor was working, you know, but he made the spirit move, and the spirit, in my humble opinion, went down south. That's why I could go down south to do a lecture. I could pull up in a different town and I'm like, oh, this is New York, 91. Oh, this is New York, 97. Oh, this is New York, 89. I could feel it. I could see it. I know what I'm dealing with. Murders at a all-time high. Oh yeah, New York 90. And I already know what's going on in that city. The dope is there. The gangs is popping. Niggas got their hands with some new guns. You know what I'm saying? The music is crazy. They got a soundtrack to kill. You know what I mean? They got drill music, and it's on and it's popping. And I could relate because I went through that. I survived it. I lived through it. Like I said, it's part of my DNA, so I could talk about it. I'm not reveling in it. I'm giving you some of my DNA. I'm backing it up. Put you in a time machine and giving you a little bit of makeup about where I come from. So when I speak to you and when we're out here teaching and we're out here building, you know that it's coming from a place of foundation, my nigga. It's not from the books. You know what I'm saying? It's from the heart. It's coming off the heart. It's coming right out of the blood. It's coming right off the hip. So, you know, I'm hip to the hop. You feel me? So that's all I'm saying, you know. But nobody ain't going through nothing that hasn't been done already. Like, we done went through a lot out, not just out here. I lived in Miami for 3 years. I lived in Atlanta for 3 years. I've traveled. I lived in a jail cell for damn near 3 years. You know what I'm saying? In different places. You know, so I've been places. I've experienced things. I've been in all of those places. I was in Miami, 03, the beginning of the wave that they have right now. When Rick Ross was MC Teflon, and I'm sending energy to him, and I hope that he gets better. Before Meech came out there with BMF and turned that out. I pulled up in Atlanta, 97, right after the Freaknik was over, and the Gentlemen's Club Auto days. Before you niggas was trap rapping, before the bando. This was the hardest dudes that was out there kicking that real shit was what was my dudes? Sean Paul and them. Sean Paul. Sean Paul and the other dude. What's the name of that group? Goody Mob was popping. Outkast was popping. This 9-7. It wasn't no Jeezy. It wasn't even no T.I. Jermaine Dupri was popping. Like, so I pull up and plant seeds. I'm in places in their early development stages. That's called pioneer work. I'm there to set the city up. And then, you know, whatever happens, happens. But we're familiar with those seeds, my niggas, because guess who planted some of them? You know what I'm saying? Guess who was the gardener? Like, we brought that party and bullshit to Atlanta. There was no Black Hollywood. Facts. Like, ask Akon. You know what I'm saying? He knows. When you run into Pitbull, ask about him. Like we got history. We was there day ones. We brought boosting and all of that. They weren't wearing no Gucci and Louie, and they wasn't pulling out sticks and mops and all. It wasn't about. They weren't even banging in Atlanta. There were no gangs in Atlanta, and that's a factoid. When I got out there, 97. If anybody in Atlanta know Burger Billions, G Young, ask about Twin. Before Ruggs got out there, before a lot of people whose names is ringing in the A right there, because that's Pretty Boy and Gavin and Scar and all of them. Who you think opened up the door and set that shit up and was coming back to New York to the tunnel and telling everybody how poppin' Atlanta is? Like, we done put in that work, fam. We done put in mad work. So that's why I look at all of these industry dudes. A lot of them, they wasn't even outside. A lot of these teachers in the community, nobody knew anything of. Like, they was not. He was in the streets. Like, come on, you niggas need to have a fucking seat right now. You know what I mean? You wasn't out there when it mattered, yo. And that's no shots to anybody, but shout out to Supernova. He was doing his thing. You know what I mean? With the boot, and then with the gangs and all of that. But I ain't see. AA was a super legend. Rashid, he was. Asir was even out there running with Supernova. But like, nah. I didn't see a lot of other shit, and that means if we ain't see it, you wasn't in Empire, you wasn't in Golden Pavilion, you wasn't in Legend, you wasn't in the Tunnel, you wasn't in the Ark, you wasn't in the Streets, you wasn't in Biltmore, you wasn't in Tilden. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, we everywhere and you was never fucking there. So, you know, just wait for the movie or the book or something. You know what I mean? Because it was a wonderful history, and like I said, the source code that put the whole world under a spell was written in the 90s, during the Puffy era. Jay-Z didn't come before Puffy era, Puffy and Big. That's the Bad Boy era. They wrote that code, my nigga, because that changed the era of the West Coast with Snoop and all of them. That's not the code that they, maybe in the West Coast they running off of that code, and they should change fuck bitches and bitches ain't shit and all that. Y'all need to grow up from that. That's what they showed you in the beginning of Killmonger. They was in Oakland in 92. That's Tupac, I Get Around, when he had the dashiki with Digital Underground. That's Too Short with the Pimp. That's Don Juan, Bishop Don Juan, pimping bitches. Fillmore Slim, backhanding black women. Right? The same way that Killmonger was easily killing women, you niggas was out there killing women. That's bastards of the party. That's not Black Panther Party. Huey was already dead. Let them come and pick the bodies up and we'll continue. Oakland, 92, West Coast, beginning of gangster rap. Like I said, that is Killmonger. They're holding up a mirror to you, black man. You don't see it? You know what I'm saying? You can't tell. Oh, he was disrespecting the elders. You niggas so cracked to the elders. You niggas was getting head from old women when I was young, selling crack to them, and I never seen you niggas atone for that. Have a fucking seat. You know what I'm saying? You niggas is spraying other niggas' houses up, killing their grandmammy. What are you talking about? Selling dope to niggas' moms and dope to old people. Yo, I couldn't get with Killmonger. I ain't like the way he treated the women and the elders. Nigga, you don't realize how hypocritical you are. You feel me? So when I say source code, I'm speaking from the standpoint of an architect like the Matrix. Source code means the script that all you niggas follow, that you're marching, the drums that you're marching to, the quote unquote, you know, when you write a program, you're writing algorithms and scripts. There's a script that was written in the mid-90s that has not changed. Have people added code to it? Yes. When niggas upgrade the algorithm, they tweak the algorithm and add bits and pieces of code from GitHub and all of that. So have they added pieces? Yes. They added a few more brands. Christian, like Cardi said, they added the red bottoms to it. You know what I'm saying? They added Celine to Moschino and D&G. Nigga, we did that. That's all our work. We brought that to the A. And then vicariously it spread through the South and everywhere around the world. Because remember, niggas used to dress by the region. Then 106 and Park came out, and then they saw how everybody was dressing through 106 and Park. Then everybody around the world or the different regions started to look alike. But you could go anywhere and they would know by the way that you were dressed where you were from. So we imported this Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Flatbush mentality, source code, way of life, lifestyle, culture into Atlanta. 97, 98, 99, I was on Clark Atlanta, CAU, all up and down, doing what we do, making history legend. So all I'm saying is, in order for it to upgrade or change, the people who help write the code gotta be the ones to change it. Facts, you niggas are not effective. That's what I'm saying. And it has to upgrade. Y'all still doing the same thing 30 years later? They still chasing the same dream. So it's gonna have to come through the music. It's gonna have to come through the culture. It's gonna have to come through the Renaissance. So what I hope people walked away from that movie and other movies, you might be watching Wrinkle in Time but definitely Black Panther, because, you know, I know that my daughter, she's 4, she was lit, you know what I mean? My son is hype, you know, my children, I don't know about the world's children, but when I was in the movie theater, I was looking at the eyes of the young children in the movie theater. They seemed inspired. They seemed like they were sparked. So we need to study Afrofuturism, and Afrofuturism is the application of the arts and sciences to do what? Put ourselves in the future and to place us in the future comfortably. Not as no fucking butlers, not as a maid, not as no glorified whores, not as no weak Negroes, not as no, not at the bottom of the barrel, but rightfully so as haves versus have-nots on thrones rather than sitting on the goddamn toilet or the sofa, riding the bench. No, sitting on the throne of the Game of Thrones, sitting on that throne in Westeros. You know what I mean? Sitting on your throne like putting all set back on her throne. That's what we have to do. The power is in the pen. The power is also in the imagination, which is the mind. You have the permission, and I'm giving it to you right now. You have the permission to create anything that you want to create. You could even create a graphic novel where Killmonger is running shit. It's up to, if you want to do that, you have every rights to do that. You could rename them, you could call them that, and just have a fight with Disney and Marvel for the name. I don't care. Whatever you do, be creative with it though. Stop waiting for white people to tell you where you're going to be in the future, who you're going to be, and you also got to change your past. You got to correct that too. But what I notice people are really excited about is when we start looking forward. Badman forward. Badman pull up. Not behind, not backwards. We're not really, we got to fix the past, but we also got to write ourselves into the future. Peace. You know what I'm saying? Effectively, bless you too. Effectively write yourself into the future. Effectively change the misinterpretation of your past and your history by introducing epic series. Where are the Moors with the screenplay of the Moorish saga? The same way like they did Lords and Rings. Huh? Yeah, I've been waiting for that for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? Wesley Snipes, I believe, supposed to be working on something. Will Smith supposed to be doing Taharka. And Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are even in talks to bring forward Mansa Musa. So we got I just showed you a chart with 100+ inventors. We got many different movies to make. Just don't be limited. You're gonna be here forever. So you got all kind of movies to make. The movie industry has even been democratized to whereas people who are known as the little people can make movies. You can make blockbusters at small budgets now. You don't need 200 million. You could do it with a smaller budget. You could link up with your African brothers in Bollywood and Nollywood because they're in both woods. Pause. They're in both woods. ATL Wood, pause, super pause, because it's ATL. But they are calling Atlanta ATL Wood, right? There are more, that's the place where the most filming is done in Atlanta right now. Go and Google it. So the Black Mecca, the new Black Harlem, because if you niggas think this is Black Harlem, you're madly mistaken. This is not Black Harlem. Family, it's fucking over. We're gonna have a going away party soon. This shit done, okay? I don't know what you thought, but it's done. It's a done dada. It's a wrap. It's a Reynolds. This done. I'm just here holding one more column up. We're gonna let this shit go in a few. But the new Black Mecca is Atlanta. But for it to qualify as a functional Black Mecca, a new Wakanda, niggas gotta clean it up. It's a lot of cleaning up that has to be done. Maybe they're sorting everything out right now. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Black brothers
Huh?
do not come together and clean up there. Why we no camera. Why we black brothers and sisters do not come together and do things together more than killing each other and selling.
I wish you were here about 40 minutes ago. I was breaking down the mentality of the people who are known as the haves, who have been misappropriated as the have-nots. Your birthright is originally the have, meaning that you come, what is your native land? What island or Africa? What nation in Africa?
The motherland.
Well,
Nigeria.
okay. So in Nigeria, right? Nigeria is mineral and resource rich, but the Nigerians have been duped through religion, corrupt governments, and colonialism, that they're the have-nots. So anytime you take people off balance in such a degree, you're going to have the dysfunction that you're seeing, where people are eating off of each other because the mentality is a poverty-minded, poverty-conscious, scarcity-minded, scarce-minded, where they are. So that's super dysfunction, right? Versus if you're living in abundance, if you understand that the earth is that you come from the earth, and that the earth is yielding all of these resources, all of this good food, all of this stuff to make you even more powerful, you'll function a whole different way. Our people are backwards right now. Our people have to go through more of awakening. Our people are slowly waking up, but it has to come at a more accelerated pace, because if they could, it's all in perception too.
Waking up now more than these black sisters wearing these horsehair, fake lashes, lipstick. Take off those things, they will look beautiful without the makeup.
Well, the same way that, you know, the brothers, we waking our brothers up, and we making a call for all of the sisters who have that cloth talk, and they could speak life into their sisters and could survive a back and forth. Go ahead and let them know. They saw the movie where the sisters were bald-headed. They didn't have no fake snuffleupagus eyebrows. You feel me? They wasn't wearing no pork on their face. You know what I'm saying? And they were shining. Their skin was glowing. So we have to continue to show images, because women are impressionable the same way that men are. They want to see themselves. They want to see that beauty on the big screen. The big screen is very powerful.
Okay.
The big screen is very powerful. So you could say it all day, but these sisters need to see more representation of how gorgeous and beautiful their natural.
Whereas most of these sisters should be cooking natural food, not artificial food, eating it, natural food, because fish and other stuff is the natural food.
There are a lot of sisters out here that are indulging in vegan lifestyles. They have blogs, Chef Aki, Queen of Four, Mama Pill. Yeah, Mama Pill, Queen of Four, Chef Aki. Y'all know any? Y'all want to send? My sister Clark. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a lot of people out here pushing the natural food, raw food. You feel me? Healthy living. Even Beyonce and told her 110 followers to get on a plant-based diet. So the influencers are being influenced by those amongst us who are doing, you know, putting information out there. You know, you got Nipsey Hussle saying that he's going to do a documentary on Dr. Sebi. So the influencers who influence millions of people, right? They're being influenced, and they're influencing their bunch or their followers or their, you know, the people who are listening to them or their fans or whatever you want to call them. That's how this renaissance, the same way that we had a renaissance in the 30s, the same way that we had a renaissance in the 60s. When you watch the Nina Simone documentary, she used to live next door to Malcolm X. She was inspired by his conscious movement. Thus, she became conscious in her music, and that started that renaissance. So it's all vicarious. It's all like, you know.
But does
How much is the crayon, the green and red one?
30 for that hoodie. Yeah. The gray one is 20. You feel me? 20. Yeah, that's a dub. So, you know, that's what we see. Like I said, if you're looking for the negative, you will find it. If you're looking for a conspiracy, you will find it. We got to look for the silver lining. We got to look for the plus. You know what I mean? We got to look and pay attention to the good things that are being done, like we saw this weekend, like we saw last weekend, where our people collectively agreed to go and watch that movie. As a result of that, $1 billion was made. Now, I don't care that, you know, people are going to remind me that Marvel and Disney were the ones that made the $1 billion. Yeah, but so what? All I'm saying, once again, look at the silver lining. An agreement was made amongst black people that you was going to put your dashiki on and your mud cloth and your kente cloth, and you were going to watch that movie together. As a result of that agreement that was made, we saw that the ticket sales were $1 billion. So you can do the same thing by agreeing to anything else. The same way that they had the Million Man March. 1 million people agreed that they were going to show up in D.C. to support Farrakhan. Now, if they would have put $10 in the box office the same way they did for Black Panther, they would have made $1 billion too. It's all about the collective making an agreement. When black people decide to get their thing together, everything will change. Until then, they will suffer. The people perish for lack of knowledge. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing more. It all starts with you. Get off of your shit. Get shit together. Stop pump faking. Stop crying. Like they said in the movie Black Panther, his father told him, "You are a king. Get off of your knees." And I will drop the mic right now.